The Demon Prince is one of the newest lords revealed by the team over at Creative Assembly for Total War Warhammer 3. With the advent of the Legions of Chaos faction, we'll be able to build out our own Demon Prince, allying with whatever Chaos God we see fit, or perhaps whichever one fits our intentions at the time. This kind of unhinged customization is something we haven't seen in a Total War since the Avatar conquest for Total War Shogun 2. I'm extremely excited for not only the wild combinations you can concoct for your demon, but also the possibilities this unlocks for future lords in the series across DLCs and mods to the game. But a lot of people have been asking about the individual lines of progression for the Demon Prince. What do they look like? How does it all shake out? And a ton of other things. In this video today, I want to help answer just that. The way I'm going to break this down is by first going over some general mechanics about the Prince, such as how the coloration works, the parts, just some general rules of thumb that actually that'll carry over across your campaign. From there, we'll go through each of the individual lines of Chaos gifts, starting with Undivided and ending with Tzeentch. I'll provide chapters in the timeline and the description for each line we go down, just in case you're interested in seeing specific gods' gifts over others. And I'll be doing this in as spoiler-free of a way as possible, so I won't be showing off the latter body parts in the game, as they get pretty dynamic looking. Also, I just haven't unlocked them, so there's that. I'll show off some of the generic Demon Princes maxed out from the custom battle menu, just to give you an idea of what your demon can look like, fully dedicated to one god. And I have no idea what body parts those are. They just seem to be canned versions. It seems like they're the ones that we saw in the Demon Prince trailer. So if you've seen that trailer, this is not really much of a spoiler. But before we get started, if you have not yet pre-ordered Warhammer 3 and intend on buying the game, you can support the channel by using the link to my Nexus Store. Nexus provides Steam keys directly from the developer, and I get a cut of every sale, significantly helping to keep the channel alive. And lastly, if you end up enjoying the content, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. I cannot tell you how much it truly does help. But let's get started on the Demon Prince body parts guide for Total War Warhammer 3. Loading into the campaign here, we have got the little character scroll for the Demon Prince, who I have coyly and self-centeredly named after myself. And if you do want a breakdown of how this campaign plays, I have a link in the upper right that is strictly a spoiler-free turn one quick look at this campaign that you can check out if you don't want to wade through all of this as far as body parts go. So that is in the upper right. So let's take a look here at coloration first. This is a cool kind of thing that they've layered into the Demon Prince playthrough. And as you take a look at this character, this is how he starts default. He just has all these abilities. He has all these different body parts clearly unlocked right now. But right now, every single god has a respective color. And the more body parts you put on for that god, the more hue or saturation that color becomes. So obviously, you know, Nurgle is green, right? And we get Tzeentch is blue, Slaanesh is purple, and then Khorne is red, and Undivided is this like blackish blue, kind of a more neutral tone. So the more body parts you put on of one specific god, the more that color becomes dominant. So let's take a look here. Now I'm just going to pop on some Khorne items here. And you'll see the color of my character is starting to change, becoming more and more red. And I think I can't even get all the way to super red because I don't have the weapons unlocked on this character. But this gets you a pretty bright red, right? Like this is clearly Khorne representative. But if I start to mix in even other colors into this mix, so let's go ahead and start splashing in some purple. You'll already see some reddish purple starting to take over here on the actual coloration of your Demon Prince. That's even more of a red purple. And the more you dip towards, of course, a purple color, the more that purple color is going to become dominant. So it's kind of boom, and there you go. You get that like that sharp, immediate contrast into a harder purple. And what I find really cool about this is that it makes your character feel a little bit more custom, a little bit more alive, because I was like, oh, what determines his color? Is it the individual glory you've unlocked for that god? Is it something else entirely? And of course, it is all really linked here to those body parts, which I find really cool and really fun. So if you wanted to know about that or kind of discover that, It's really all linked to what body parts your character has active right there, right? So we're going to get kind of a purpley green going here by jumping into some Nurgle body parts too. Let me switch over the wings seem to have a really big, like, dominant color shift, more almost than all the other parts, because it's probably one of the most large body parts you can put onto the character. So, but now you see this is more of a pale green. It has hints of purple in there as you kind of look into the recessed shadows and everything. So you get a sense now for how coloration works. And it is a really cool part of this too, because you kind of think of games like, I don't know, Bannerlord, or any other game where there's a transmog system. You kind of get lost in how cool does my character look as far as how they perform, right? I'll sacrifice some actual gameplay playability for having a really cool character, and that you get that right here, which is pretty fun and pretty cool. So just kind of putting him back to standard here, just to again keep things as kind of as close to spoiler free as I can here for you guys. We've got just our standard Demon Prince. So another big kind of general rule of thumb here are the is the demonic glory tree. Now I've gone over this in that spoiler-free breakdown, but just to kind of quickly rehash this, what's important here is in all of the trees you get this portion where it goes, your Khorne offering unlocks the bloodletting feature for all of your armies. Now that is a feature that Scarbrand has. Now for this one too, Nurgle's Gifts unlocks the switchable plagues feature for all of your armies. Again, this is one that Kugoth has. The seduce units feature that Ankari has, or the teleport stance for all of your armies that, well, Kairos has. Now, obviously, they don't have the rest of those mono-god demon faction mechanics, so it is worth kind of noting that. But the cool thing about this is, as you kind of progress down these, you'll get more and more of these little boons here and there, but you'll never get something as cool as this individual mechanic being imbued into your campaign. Cool word usage there, right? So, what I know it says for all of your armies, but I don't think that that really sunk in for me personally when reading it. It took me a little playthrough of the campaign to actually realize that, oh, they weren't screwing around here. I have unlocked all those, right? So if I look at this Whisperer, the Whisperer is just your Herald of Slaanesh, your pre-exalted demon of Slaanesh, right? I can switch around these different plagues. I have access to these bloodletting capability over here, or I can go into teleport stance. Or if I walk over here and attack this character, if they had any units in their army, I could seduce them into my own. So it's just kind of worth noting that you are not simply playing the Demon Prince. You will have other characters at your disposal. And when those other characters jump in, it's really fun to play a Herald of Khorne that can seduce units or use plagues to your advantage, or to use a teleport stance. Like, that is stupid strong. Like, if you go all the way down the Khorne line and you get yourself to at least this stage in Tzeentch, you can jump around the map as Khorne and just auto-ambush people. That is a really, really, really strong capability that was completely lost on me the first time I really took a look at this campaign. So those are just some general rules of thumb. The only other rule of thumb I did want to quickly go over, because it will be the same in every single line we're about to go down, are these little buttons right here. So this tells us that it is a gift in a set, and this set is the Fierce Prince. And the Fierce Prince will give us specific bonuses if all of these gifts are equipped. So Khorne's Glory gained, recruitment rank for Khorne units, and then bonus versus infantry for those Khorne units. So it can make your units even stronger. And you don't even really, I think this is the first one. Yeah, the Armaments of War is the first set of Khorne that you'll complete at 2200 glory. And you'll complete the one we were talking about, Fierce Prince, here at 2640. And then there's more sets down the line over here. Now, these sets are cool. Every single either Undivided or any of the monogod factions will have a version of the Prince or Armaments. So this is the Foul Prince now. We're jumping into Sensuous and then into the Withered. And I'll show them off individually when we jump through that line. And when you jump into your actual character scroll, and you go ahead and let's go ahead and see, look at this one. So Oversized Arms. I see that this is part of a set, and I can press this button and it will auto-equip all those parts immediately for me. So those, again, just some rules I wanted to go over, some really cool kind of general observations that are going to apply to the Daemon Prince no matter what line you go down. And it just kind of is worth going over really quick in this video for continuity sense. So let's now jump into the Undivided line and talk about the very first set of items or gifts for the Daemon Prince. And this line is a standard one you're going to go down no matter what, because a lot of the things you experience in the game are going to give you undivided glory plus a specific glory. And what's different from this glory than all the rest of them is this part at the end here. So you'll notice as you kind of go through, there's little nodes that give you certain things, and we'll go through those once we jump through the Khorne one and so on and so forth. The Undivided does not have that at all, period. They do have, though, at the end, pretty much all those nodes jam-packed into their final portion here. And there's this big button here that says access even more powerful demonic gifts and units of the Chaos Gods. The Chaos Gods will grant you access to their lesser demonic gifts. And that grants you these gifts here and what have you, which we're about to go through right now. But this button does not lock out the other glories like it will for each one of the dedicated specific mono gods. So just kind of worth talking about that up front. So we're just going to kind of quickly go over these. I'm going to hover over them. Anything that particularly stands out, I will talk about it. I guess a good one right here is immediately the flaming body. Some of these body parts will have a very dynamic look. And again, in a non-spoiler fashion, I will not be showing that off, but you can see got a nice flaming like little stomach there. And that's the very first one you unlock. You'll get it in the first turn, so it's not too big of a reveal. I think most people have even seen it, so just to kind of bring that up. So let's go back over here to the glory, swing through everything. We got the flaming body, into the sharpened horns, and if there's anything specific you want to look at, please by all means go ahead and just simply pause the video and you can swing back to it. But call for power here just to kind of show that off, gives you splash damage as well as rampage. Moving back here into the Chaos Sword, some AP. It is worth noting too that the weapon damage, it seems to be based off of a certain set amount. So if we're looking at this, you'd have to subtract 15% from this to get his true base weapon strength. And even comparing one-handed weapons to two-handed weapons, it will increase that value. So if I say, okay, I've got the Deathbringer blade, and look at this. Okay, this two-handed mace is going to jump me up to 473 weapon strength. I'll equip it. Well, it's actually 436. And if I look back at a hand weapon, it's deceiving because it's telling me, oh, I'm going to get more weapon strength and base weapon damage. No, that value it's increasing is the true actual base weapon damage and AP value, not your current one. So it can be kind of confusing looking at all these. Just keep this in mind when you do decide to actually build your Daemon Prince out, that when you switch over to a one-handed weapon, so right now we're at 436, and it says it's going to be 473, you'll see it'll actually drop it to 453. It is working off of that base weapon strength that exists for the Daemon Prince. So just to kind of talk about that, because it will come up as you play through your playthrough. The trophied legs with the demonic onslaught ability that'll increase charge bonus as well as base and AP damage. The chaos shield, battle worn wings, which will give you purge the weak, increasing your speed, leadership, and vigor per second. Arm spikes, spiked tail, which is very nice, your first Undivided tail. Mortal blow being activated here from your arm spikes, giving you some nice increase to your AP and base weapon damage. The staff of reaping helps out with Winds of Magic reserve. Your light armor, which gives you the passive ability Chaos armor, which is going to give melee damage reflection and missile block chance plus 20. Doom shield, leather armor, continuing that Chaos armor passive. The Doom blade here. I'll just swing over to here. These spiked legs, the spiked torso, jagged horns, getting call of power. You'll see that a lot of these will have a theme as far as what abilities they give you per body part, and they'll stick with that theme. The death lance, spined tail, doom sword, medium armor, again giving us chaos armor there. The charging horns, the jagged lance, fanged wings, brass-tipped charging horns, and then lastly the armored cosmic body. Before we jump over, this is going to give us foreboding ignition, which is going to help us out here with some nice AP damage explosion. Now, just to show off the armaments of chaos, here you go. All glory gain, recruitment rank, and melee attack increase. And then the Fanged Prince, which is going to help out again, all glory, chaos, undivided corruption, and AP weapon damage plus 10%. Moving into the final line here, we got Undedicate, Undivided. We already showed this off just a second ago, but the first one's going to also grant us Undivided 1. So diplomatic relations with all pretty much chaos, and then summon from the beyond a unit of chaos furies, which is not too great at that point in the game. Medium leg armor here. And we go to this Minotaurs of Khorne with great weapons, which is also then going to give us armored wings. And this is a different set, the Armored Prince of Chaos set. The Plague Drones. Then we get into the Hellflayers. Then we'll get Scorched Tail, the Scorched Prince of Chaos. There you go. Sorry, I forgot to actually take a look at the set there for the previous one. We'll go back to that. Quite a few benefits here. There you go. Here's the Armored Prince of Chaos. And then this is going to push us forward into the Skull Crushers of Khorne. And across the top line, the Plague Drones, the Exalted Seeker Chariot, then the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch, before we get Undivided rank 2, giving us Lord Recruit, Hero Recruit, and then Undivided Corruption. Going back into these items, though, we get the Armored Tail, the Charred Legs, the Blackened Wings, and then the Heavy Gauntlets. Now above, we're going to go, the next 4 units we're going to unlock are all of the Soul Grinders. Then we're going to jump back here into the Scorched Arms. The Scorched Arms have different abilities, but a lot of the same stuff here. Again, Mortal Blow coming out of the hands here. Same thing over there, right? Mortal Blow. Just this is physical resistance for the Armored Prince of Chaos, and this has got fire resistance and weapon damage and AP damage, or weapon damage and melee attack. And our next one here is the Heavy Leg Armor. Again, physical resistance and Unholy Demon Blade. The next 4 after that are going to be the 4 greater demons of each god. We get the Infernal Horns, the Hungering Demon Blade, and nextly we get the Plate Armor and the Jagged Demon Blade. And lastly, we get the Hellforge Blade and Wingless. So you can remove the wings on your Demon Prince, which actually increases his unit mass, speed, physical resistance, and weapon strength, because he's losing his wings, so his speed stat is going to drop. This gives you a little bit more speed on top of it, though, at least. Then you'll get Undivided 3, which you can help out with upkeep, recruitment costs, recruitment rank, and global recruitment duration. So that's the Undivided line. Let's jump over to Khorne now. And I'll show you what that Demon Prince of Khorne looks like at the end of this section. So in case you didn't want to see it, didn't want to get spoiled on it, anything like that, you'll be able to see it right at the end here before we transition to Nurgle. But going through the top here, we're going to be getting the Chaos Warhounds and then the Fleshhounds of Khorne. But we get the Spiked Collar, which is going to give us the passive of Tempered Rage, helping with damage resistance here. And that increases with each kill made, so it's pretty nice. Then ability Burning Rage as well is a nice explosion. And then we get the Armored Sentient Tail, which gives us our first offering of Khorne, which helps out corruption and leadership. The Bestial Charging Horns, which also give us access to the Bloodletters. This is going to give us Fueled by Rage, which is a lovely ability if you're above 50% health. I'm sorry, less than 50% health, which increases base and AP weapon damage by 25%. And Gore Feast, which gives you a passive regen. Into the Heavy Armored Gauntlets, which are also going to give us the Warriors of Khorne. The Bestial Wings, which give us Bloodthirst, charge bonus speed and charge speed. Just to kind of make sure you can see that. Also, the second offering of Khorne unlocks the Blood Reaper hero, as well as 8% when fighting against Slaanesh factions. The Cloven Hooves, which is then also gives us the Blood Shrine of Khorne as well. We get the Light Armored Gauntlets, which will give us Deathbringer, which is going to increase AP weapon damage and base step by damage by 50%. Also, too, we will be getting Bloodletting as the Khorne mechanic unlocked as well at this stage, which would be 1600. This is like 1600, I think, total. No, it's not, because I'm at 1200 now. I think it's 660, I think, is this point. Doesn't show you. But yeah, 660, I think, is this point. Into the Battle-Worn Tail, which gives us Serpentine Tail, which actually will do damage passively to anyone around you in 10 meters, which is pretty cool. Unlocks then the Chaos Warriors of Khorne with dual weapons. And the Trophied Collar Grants that Tempered Rage ability here that we've seen before. Same statistics across the board, though, with that actual passive. And we get the Chaos Warriors of Khorne with halberds. Into the Light Armored Gauntlets, the Bestial Visage. Same statistics on those passives as well. The Cloven Greaves, which will also give us the Gore-Beast Chariot of Khorne. Let me just kind of push this forward a little bit. And the Horned Wings. And it grants us the 4th offering, control for every concurrent war with a neighboring faction, and income from raiding plus 20%. Sentient Spine Tail. Same thing with that damage on anything around you. The Spiked Gauntlets. The Ravaged Bestial Wings, which will then give us Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne. Spiked Gauntlets for the Slaughter passive ability, which is going to be basically like your, almost like a Berserk capability, but it's going to increase base weapon damage, melee attack, and physical resistance across each phase taking 25 seconds to get to. Affected units is a Lord or Hero, effect range 35 meters, so very nice there indeed. Burning Rage and Tempered Rage are in the Stomach Band, which is pretty nice. Which also gives us the Spawn of Khorne. The Chained Sentient Tail, which gives us the Skull Cannon. The Heavy Armored Gauntlets. For the Slaughter, same thing, I believe. Just making sure. Yep. And then this is going to give us the 5th offering of Khorne. Grants us leadership for Warriors of Khorne unit. And then a bonus versus infantry for Khorne units, as well as charge bonus for Furies. Ornate Helm. The Armored Bestial Wings, which is also going to give us the Minotaurs of Khorne. The Medium Armored Gauntlets. The Jagged Bestial Horns. The Medium Armored Gauntlets, which will now give us Blood Crushers. And then lastly, the Spined Body. The 2 sets we've got are the Armaments of War, Khorne Corruption, Recruitment Rank, and Armor for a lot of the Khorne units. And then the Fierce Prince, Khorne Glory Gained, Recruitment Rank for Khorne units, as well as bonus versus infantry for Khorne units. Then we have the Dedicate to Khorne. This is going to, again, all other glory gain will be halted, it says. Access even more powerful demonic gifts and units of Khorne. A negative diplomatic relation with everyone, especially Slaanesh, and then a positive with Khornate. Jumping into our first Khornate offering, level 7 here, giving us charge bonuses and Perfect Vigor for a lot of really good units. Mainly the Perfect Vigor for Bloodletters of Khorne and Exalted Bloodletters. Mark of Khorne. The Slaughterer's Hellblade, which gives us access to Slaughterer's Hellblade. Gives us access to the Burning Prince of Khorne. Lot of abilities there. Upgrades the ability for the Slaughter. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to see that. So you've got that. We have got the Sentient Tail, the Slaughter Halberd, and the Great Axe of Wrath. That one's pretty juicy, maybe. The Corrupted Legs, the Axe of Wrath, and the Armored Flaming Body, the Burning Prince of Khorne yet again there. Just as a heads up, you cannot dual wield weapons for your demon. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be a Khorne demon, I'm going to dual wield axes, unfortunately not possible. Okay, and again, that gives us the Minotaurs of Khorne with great weapons. Next one here is Khorne offering level 8, full recruitment, casualty replenishment, and hero recruitment rank. This is going to give us Chain Legs, Scorched Wings, and Slaughter Shield. Bestial Legs is next. Chained Bestial Wings. This is the Bloodthirsty Prince of Khorne. And then the Blood Halberd. Going back to this Bloodthirsty Prince of Khorne, though, there you go. Upkeep recruitment, upgrades ability Deathbringer, charge bonuses, and then Perfect Vigor for Blood Crushers and Skull Crushers of Khorne. And the Shattered Gauntlets, Axe of Rage, and then the... so both of the Shattered Gauntlets are right here. Then, of course, too, we get Skull Crushers of Khorne. That's the one ridden by the Chaos Warriors. Trophied Horns. Collar and Straps. Calm down, Rihanna. And then Bestial Trophied Legs. Final Offering of Khorne. Upkeep reduction, recruitment cost, recruitment rank, army ability, summon from beyond, so be able to summon up Bloodletters. Reaper's Hellblade, passive ability Hellblade here. But this, if you get over 60 kills, you get a bonus to your base weapon damage and AP, which is very nice, in addition to some of the other ones you get for getting a lot of kills as well. Blood Shield, which just seems overly un-Khornish. Slayer's Hellblade. Then we get the Blazing Gauntlets left and right here. And then Bestial Greaves, which give us Demonic Onslaught, which we've seen before, but just for continuity. Lastly, we have the Soul Grinder of Khorne, the Infernal Cornate Horns, Great Axe of Fury, the Bestial Light Armor. Not sure why I said lastly, because we got 2 more. Bestial Cuisine, Gore Halberd, and Bloodthirsty Tail, Axe of Fury, Gore Shield, and Great Axe of Rage, giving us also access to a Bloodthirster. So that is our Khorne line. I will show off quickly what the Khorne Daemon Prince looks like, and then jump into Nurgle. And just to kind of speed this process up a little bit, I'm not going to point out what unit unlocks in each individual location, because I think you can kind of tell that from taking a look at this. I mainly want to focus on the body parts and maybe those demonic offerings so you can see them. But I mean, it's kind of obvious. Oh, those are Nurglings. Those are the Plague Toads, what have you. So we'll go ahead and just kind of push through the body parts a little bit faster this time. So Pestilent Decay causes damage to combatants. Armored Corpulent Tail, which gives us Slime Trail, the same thing that we have on Kugoth Plaguefather, which reduces melee attack and speed of things around you. Also the First Offering, which is going to give us Corruption and Leadership bonuses. We get access to the Broken Horns, which is going to give us the spell Purple Sun of Xerius. Now that we're into spellcasting Demon Prince portions, you'll notice that a lot of body parts will give you different spells from one of the 2 lores that correspond to that god. So we have the Lore of Death and the Lore of Nurgle here in, well, Nurgle, and then it'll be different here for Tzeentch and different here for Slaanesh. But you'll be pulling from those 2 lores to get kind of a custom lore kit. Call for Power is going to give you splash damage, AP, and as well, I'm sorry, splash damage, base damage, and rampages you. The Colossal Maul. Did I do this one? No, I did not. Sorry. Oversized medium armor gives you the Fate of Buna. Then we go into the heavy armor that gives you Stream of Corruption, the Lore of Nurgle spell. And then the Unholy Sword. Did not show this one off really quick, but Nurgle Gift 2 is Recruitment of the Plague Ridden and then melee defense when fighting against Tzeentch. And we also would get the Nurgle Gifts 3, which gives us Switchable Plagues. The Belled Horns, which gives you Purple Sun of Xerius yet again and Call for Power. Pestilent Chausses, unit mass increase. Shrouded Body, which gives you Foreboding Ignition, that explosion we saw in the Undivided line. Oversized armor with the Fate of Buna ability still. Spirit Leech on the arms for oversized medium armor. Armored Pestilent Wings, which gives you now Cloud of Flies, the passive from kind of like the Mark of Nurgle more or less, which gives you melee defense. Dual Horns now going to grant you Blight Boil, which is a lovely ability. The Titanic Great Axe. Here is Nurgle Offerings Stage 4. Income from Raising Settlements and Casualty Replenishment Rate. The Pestilent Thorn Chausses. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm going with a Ponzi over the top pronunciation. Chaos Armor in the Armored Plague Body, which is very nice here. It's good to see that damage reflection and missile block chance, as well as that explosion capability. The Venomous Wing Spurs, which gives you Pestilent Decay, is going to cause damage to combatants. Again, an ability from Kugoth Plague Lord. The Swollen Chained Tail, which keeps Slime Trail on you. You also get the 5th version of the gifts, helps out with speed, melee defense, and weapon strength for certain Nurgle units. What's cool too is that all these will give you bonuses for Furies, so when you're summoning your Furies as Undivided, it actually makes them a little bit better. The Colossal Morningstar protruding head, eroded wings, colossal axe, the plagued body, the unholy halberd, and then the armored shrouded body. To show off the two sets here, we got the Foul Prince is going to help out with Nurgle Glory, Casualty Replenishment Rate, and Recruitment Rank for Nurgle units. And then for the Armaments of Blight, we've got Nurgle Corruption in adjacent provinces and local province, as well as melee defense for Plague Bearers of both flavors. And lastly, we get this Nurgle Gifts number 6, melee defense, weapon strength, and missile resistance. Of course, the dedication shuts down everything else and gives you the diplomatic relation that makes the most sense for Nurgle. Moving here into the final body parts, we get Nurgle's Gift 7, armor, melee defense, physical resistance, and then attribute charge defense versus large for Plague Bearers of Nurgle and Exalted of Plague Bearers, both flavors, which is disgusting to say flavor when you're talking about Nurgle. So, Corpulent Arm ones gives us Virulent Contagion, which is a chain hex of minus 40 melee defense, and this will spread to up to 5 units within 30 meters of each other. This is part of the new chain abilities that are coming with Nurgle. Mark of Nurgle. The Twisted Horns. Ooh, that's actually lovely. Call for power and blight boil, which we've seen plenty of times, but I do like that. Corpulent Legs. The Corpulent Body. This is going to give you now Swarm of Flies, which is minus 5 to melee attack. Different, right, than the other one was minus 5 to melee defense. I'm sorry, it was a positive to melee defense. Then Restore the Blighted, which is a regen capability here. Chance of unit gaining hit points, chance of unit instantly dying. So kind of like a phase 1, phase 2, heal per second, 25%. Miscast chance, 50%. So it's a 50-50 chance when you're less than 50% health that you'll die outright, or you'll gain a quarter of your health back. That's kind of cool with that, right? Oh, that's pretty sick. I didn't know that existed. Oh, man, that's cool. Corpulent Tail, giving you Slime Trail again. The Corpulent Arms, giving you Fleshy Abundance, Lore of Nurgle regen spell. Rock Club. Corpulent Head, giving you Pestilent Regeneration. Chain Regen, effects up to 5 units, replenishes health. Purple Sun Azirius and Copious Vomit, that ability that we all know all too well. And Purple Sun Azirius, like I said. The Eroded Tail Armor. Diseased Leg Spikes. Getting us that next Nurgle gift, we're getting those Lord and Hero Recruitment Rank as well as Construction Cost. You can see how they mirror each other as you go down, right? Fleshy Abundance, yet again. Rancid Visitations, which is the very strong DD spell for Lore of Nurgle. Soul Blight as well. And then your Spiked Corpulent Arms, giving you Blighted Feast. Heal per second, 0.1% regen. And it also helps out with your Vigor, which is cool, but you'll take a weakness to fire damage plus 20%. So a little bit spicy there. Corpulent Spiked Head with Pestilent Breath and Blight Boil. Rot Cleaver. And then Horned Corpulent Body, giving you Curse of the Leper, your damage reflection, and then Doom and Darkness. Fleshy Abundance on these gauntlets, and then the other one's giving you Virulent Contagion. We have Diseased Tail Spurs. Corpulent Merged Horns. Plague Blade. Don't know why that couldn't read that. Bubonic Legs. And this is going to also give us Nurgle's Gifts 9. Upkeep reduction, recruitment cost, recruitment rank, and army ability summoned from beyond, giving you Plague Bearers. Just to show off too, I did not look at this yet, but the Enlarged Prince of Nurgle. Here's these benefits here. More of that charge defense for the Plague Bearers, the Lord's Army. What was the other one here? Here we'll see it as we go on. Oh, okay, no wonder I didn't talk about it. Oh, there it is. The Charitable Prince of Nurgle. There you go. Nurgle Corruption, recruitment cost, upkeep reductions, Virulent Contagion upgrade ability, and bonus versus infantry for Beasts of Nurgle units. That's actually really good. Moving into our next one, Straining Light Armor, Bit of Buna, Aspect of the Dread Knight, Straining Light Armor yet again for Blighted Feast. Belled Horns, Corpulent Belled Horns. Trophied Corpulent Body. Plague Club. Decayed Greaves. Pestilent Light Greaves. Bubonic Corpulent Body. Restore the Blighted yet again and Swarm of Flies. bubonic wings, miasma of pestilence, and then bubonic tail sores. And lastly, we get the branching horns, blooded bell, the bile sword, and then the belled corpulent body. So let's go ahead and move on here to what this guy looks like. I don't think actually we have a canned... No, we got a canned Nurgle guy. We'll show that off and then we'll jump into Slaanesh. I think I said that I'm going to make this faster. I think that the Nurgle one was the longest one. So, passive ability here of Desirable Light Greaves. We get the Sinful Footing, charge bonus speed, and charge speed increase here for Slaanesh. Going into this, we get Mortal Blow for our Scythed Arms, and then we get the First Delights, giving you Slaanesh Corruption and Leadership. The Purge the Weak ability, we've already seen this one before, but speed, leadership, and vigor reduction for the wings. The head here giving the spell Phantasmagoria, which is also a spooky game. Phantasmophobia. We have two, the Colossal Mace. The second one unlocks the hero as well as melee attack against Khorne. Foreboding Ignition, something we've seen before, but just to show it off here in this section. The Spiked Tail Armor, and also the Slaanesh Delights for seducing units. The Scythed Arms with Slicing Shards, which is a Lore of Slaanesh spell, large strike area, big old boom boom bombardment. The Chaos Blade, Armored Ashen Wings, Malkoth Mystifying Miasma. The Great Lance, the Desirable Greaves, which gives you Devastating Flanker, the ability that all Lore of Slaanesh, or I'm sorry, all Slaanesh units pretty much get for the most part. For the most part, not all. The Fanged Scythes, which gives you Pit of Shades, and then the Delights 4th edition is going to be granting you casually captured post-battle as well as control. The Armored Chaotic Body, giving you Chaos Armor and Foreboding Ignition, just to show those off in this section. Pushing us forward here. The Wing, the Fanged Ashen Wings, giving you Purge the Weak again. The Fiendish Tail. The Modest Helm. Occam's Mindrazor. The Exalted Shield. The Fanged Scythes, giving you the Lash of Slaanesh ability. And then also the Slaanesh's Delights. Tons of melee attack, leadership, melee defense, AP, and charge for Hellshredders and Marauders, as well as Furies. Your Foreboding Ignition again for the Alluring Body. Chained Wings have Eldritch Aura, your ward save here. Missile and spell resistance bonuses. Exalted Sword. The Armored Alluring Body. The Ashen Wings give you Acquiescence, melee defense, and speed reductions. The Jagged Halberd. And then the Pulsing Wings with Eldritch Aura one more time. Of course, your two sets in this section are the Sensuous Prince for glory, upkeep, and recruitment rank. And then the Armaments of Desire for diplomatic relations, Slaanesh, and speed increases of the sort. Your last delight is speed, melee attack, and charge bonus. I wonder if I showed this one for Khorne. Well, that's the one for Khorne, in case I didn't. Well, I'll have to check. I'll have to look after the fact. Of course, you get your Dedicate to Slaanesh capability there. Same thing as always. Your first gift in this section is also going to give you AP, charge bonus, physical resist, and attribute for those demonettes and whatnot. The next gift is going to give you Diplomatic Relation, Lord, and Hero recruitment ranks. The last gift is going to give you Slaanesh's Delights, upkeep, recruitment cost, recruitment rank, and then army ability summoned from beyond demonettes. And I feel like that makes this section a little bit faster. Man, we're at 3 minutes for this section. We're trailblazing, guys. The Demonic Arms, spell resistance. Demonic Arms again, giving you Mortal Blow. We've already seen it, but just to show it. Then lastly, the Mark of Slaanesh. Serrated Scythes on both the left and right arms. This one's going to give us Sundering attacks, and then Lash of Slaanesh. The head is going to give us Phantasmagoria, and then Seductive Glory. There you go there. Rampage and melee defense. Adorned Scythes for the Adorned Prince is going to give us Slicing Shards and Mortal Blow. And then the Demonette Legs is going to give us Sinful Footing, as well as Devastating Flanker. Here's the Adorned Prince for you. Sounds pretty sweet. Moving into the next one. Ornate Horned Helm, the Radiant Prince of Slaanesh. Also going to give us Phantasmagoria and ability Sonic Boom, not to be confused with Street Fighter, probably one of my favorite games growing up. There you go. Explosions causes severe disruption to enemy formations. Strong versus multiple combatants, inflicts minimal damage. More of a disruption spell more than anything. And contact disoriented, so reduces their speed, melee defense, and melee attack. Very, very cool to get in and out of a situation where you're just doing a ton of burst damage and then leaving. The flexible body, Pavane of Slaanesh here, Lore of Slaanesh ability, DD. And the Fiendish Mask, reducing speed and melee attack in an aura around you. The Demonette Leg Straps, Sinful Footing, and Devastating Flanker. Spike Sides. Oh, I've already done this one. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I went all over the place. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I'm totally fine. Just very similar to one of the previous cells we already looked at. But Spike Size giving you Enfeebling Foe as well as Sundering Attacks. Then Hysterical Frenzy from, from the Carved Body. Here you go. AP and Melee Attack and Rampage. Fiendish Mask yet again. Tasseled Helm, giving you Sonic Boom and Occam's Mindrazor, the Chained Fiendish Tail, and then the Spiked Demonette Legs, giving you Sinful Footing yet again and Devastating Flanker. The Demonic Scythes, giving you Pit of Shades and the Enfeebling Foe. And you've got the Adorned Body, giving you Glamour of Slaanesh passive ability. That's the first time I've seen a passive actually being granted from these. The Fiendish Musk. Not really the first time I'm seeing a passive granted. It looks like it. Because I didn't see the Lore of Nurgle passive. So the Plumed Helm, Seductive Glory, Occam's Mindrazor, the Bladed Tail, and the Trophy Demonette Legs. Demonette Light Greaves, the Sword of Allure, the Pristine Armor, Penumbral Pendulum coming up on here, and also we get the Ornate Shield, the first of the Slaaneshi shields. Feathered Helm giving us Seductive Glory and Occam's Mindrazor, the Gilded Shield, the Sword of Excess, and then the Ornate Tail, the Demonette Greaves, the Decadent Shield, Sword of Sin, and Molded Armor, Pavane of Slaanesh and Withering. Lastly, the Full Helm, Sonic Boom and Phantasmagoria, Hysterical Frenzy and Pavane of Slaanesh on the Revealing Armor, the Feasting Spear, and the Armored Fiendish Tail. So I'll show off the Slaanesh Demon, and let's jump into our last one with Tzeentch. And to kind of just jump through all of the gifts up front might be a better way to do things. So here is all the gifts, the boons. Gonna hover over them really quick. Hero recruitment and whatnot for iridescent horrors. You get your teleport stance, income and ambush defense, your speed, charge bonus, and missile strength. And lastly, you get your boon in this section of ammo, missile strength, and melee defense for your flamers, which is actually probably the best one of the lot so far. But going through the base things here, we get Serpentine Tail, which is very similar, of course, to the one we got from Khorne, one that actually does damage for you and gives you barrier and AP. For heavy bracers, we get Gate of Chaos. You're going to summon blue horrors with it and gives you Plague of Rust. Pretty much going to be looking at Lore of Metal and Lore of Tzeentch here. Arcane Mirth ability. Augment the winds of magic by 20% on the recharge, and then Tzeentch's Firestorm, very strong ability. The heavy bracers are going to give us Transmutation of Lead, the Avian Physique, Glean Magic, and Winds of Change. Aged Wings are going to give us the Arcane Flight, Spell Mastery plus 10%. Remember, Mastery makes our spells do more, 10% more, damage, healing, whatever it is. Demonic Onslaught. For the Bejeweled Greaves, the Plucked Shattered Beak gives us Arcane Mirth again and Transmutation of Lead. Spiked Arms, Infernal Gateway, a great ability. The Staff of Bones, The tail of many mouths, giving a serpentine tail yet again. The cosmic body, you can imagine is very cosmic, has foreboding ignition, and a huge, huge bonus to our barrier of 200 hit points. Spiked arms give you gated chaos and blue fire of Tzeentch. Light gauntlets. Avian light armor gives you treason of Tzeentch here, as well as Gehenna's golden hounds. Taloned legs giving you a demonic onslaught. Snapping tail again with that serpentine tail. Light gauntlets giving you mortal blow, just to show it in this section. Iridescent tail. Staff of deceit. Exalted halberd. Brass-tipped tail. Exalted blade. The spiked aged wings, which gives you vanguard, which is pretty cool. The avian plate armor gives you Gehenna's hounds and glittering robe. And then lastly, the armored snapping tail. Here are your sets. The armaments of change, winds of magic, Tzeentch corruption, and ammunition for your horrors. The withered prince giving you barrier for all of your horrors, as well as Tzeentch glory and recruitment rank. Then of course we get the dedication, all the respective bonuses that we've seen before, just Tzeentch flavored. Now for Tzeentch's boons, in this section we're going to have attribute mastery of the elemental winds for iridescent horrors, cultists, and lords of change, which is very nice. Charge bonus, physical resistance, and missile resistance for your screamers, chaos knights, and whatnot. This one is for hero recruitment rank, chance of winds of magic changing, as well as your hero recruitment for iridescent horrors increase as well. The Tzeentch's boons here. So this one's cool because it's going to give you, of course, your pink horrors, recruitment rank for Tzeentch units, increase recruitment cost, and upkeep reduction as well. Those be your boons. So let's now go through these items. Mark of Tzeentch, feathered wings, giving you pink fire of Tzeentch and arcane flight. Again, we've already seen that, but just to show. Staff of riddles, so that, I thought that said staff of rabies. Avian arms, giving you blue fire of chaos here. Different. The avian features, Tzeentch's firestorm, and words of change. Then the avian arms again give you, oh, these both give you blue fire. Oh, so this one gives you blue fire of chaos. This one gives you blue fire of Tzeentch. But different there. And then gate of chaos as well. Winds of magic are on that too. Avian legs. Ensorcelled skull lance. The ornate snapping tail. I think Tzeentch is stupid strong. Wild feathers. Gives you word of change in Tzeentch's firestorm. Staff of the watcher. Spiked avian legs. Bejeweled arms with infernal gateway. Demon hide shield. Bejeweled arms yet again, both blue fire of chaos and blue fire of Tzeentch put onto one body part, which is really cool. Allows you to kind of mix and match a lot more. Ability gaze of fate for the sharp beak, as well as transmutation of lead. Decorated legs, giving you hidden in time. So it basically allows you to go stock and unspottable for 73 seconds. Pretty juicy, especially since you're going to be vanguarding. Decorated legs. The decorative bracers. Transmutation of lead. Arcane dagger. And then the decorative bracers yet again. The shattered beak. The ensorcelled jagged lance. Armored avian wings. Bejeweled chest. Take a look at that Bennett. These bennies for the jeweled Prince of Tzeentch here. Upkeep reduction, recruitment cost reduction, upgrade ability, blue fire of chaos as well. Spell resistance and ward save. Going into the avian chausses. Eldritch dagger. Spiked avian wings. This grants a searing doom, which is stupid strong now. And then the marked shield. Last two cells, or last three cells, the decorated arms with Mystic Prince of Tzeentch. The armored beak. Avian heavy armor. Decorated arms, plague of rust, infernal gateway. Avian greaves. Mystical dagger. Mystical wings. And reinforced shield. And lastly, horned mask. Avian runes, ensorcelled great lance, and mystical loincloth. My favorite. Let's take a look here at a souped up Tzeentchian Demon Prince. And it is worth noting that I don't think they have these tier of items. I think they've got these tier of items. So in case that kind of makes you go, oh man, like one looks cooler than the other, I think it's because we deliberately don't see the top tier stuff. Let's show off that Tzeentch Daemon Prince real quick. So that covers all of our information here about the Daemon Prince. And now, hopefully you have a good idea of all of these individual parts, what they do, how they're really going to be socketed together in the playthrough that you have in mind for your Daemon Prince. Of course, I didn't show every little tiny thing as far as how it looks, what is the equip like, and all this stuff, but I think that's going to be kind of the fun of unearthing that for yourself. So if you have any questions about the Daemon Prince or something I maybe didn't cover, you wanted to know a little bit more about, anything like that, just go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. More than happy to help you guys out. But as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.